Crysta from Litter to Glitter. I am a furniture artist out of Barry, Texas. So glad that you guys could join me. What I am doing today is I know I need to work on my husband's musical piece for his playroom. That was expecting something and it didn't come in, and so we still got to wait on that. But I actually I'm glad because as you know, we're moving, and we moved, and I'm tired of eating off of, the TV trays. And so we're actually painting this to go into our living room. And it was kind of one of those things, I can paint this real quick. This was originally painted. I tried a product that was a no prep product. And let me tell you, it did not adhere. Painted it before we moved. And in the move, the paint just started peeling, flaking off of it. So this morning I've sanded it down. I've cleaned it with First Step Prep. On the big piece you can see in the back, it's already got one coat. These are the front drawers. And on the side, I left just a little bit of the paint because you'll see what I'm saying. If you've got paint that will do this, just with a little and come off, that's what we're trying to get rid of, is it flaking off like that. So I am using my ProStick to achieve that. So I'm going to be putting some ProStick on and answering you guys' questions and hanging out and talking with you guys. So let me know what you're up to, what you guys are working on. Let me see who's on. Sue Owens is on with me. Hey, Sue. So, all right, what is ProStick? ProStick is an adhesive primer. So it's one of your primers. What you do is, for this piece, I cleaned it and then I sanded it down, and then I cleaned it with First Step Prep again. And then I'm going to do 2 coats of the ProStick. Usually you need to wait 3 to 6 hours between your coats or before you start the painting. It is 86 degrees, sunny, 0 humidity here in Texas right now. And so I painted this about an hour and a half ago for the first coat on the box. And I am doing the drawers right now. I'll move these off to the side, and then we'll get to the second coat. So what this does is this actually, if this is your piece and this is your paint that you want to adhere, your ProStick is what you want to put on your piece first, because that is going to make an adhesive. Just think of it as paint glue. That's the best way to think of it. If you've got a slick surface, a shiny surface, this is a really slick, like from the 60s, 70s factory finish, which was amazingly slick. Even though it's wood product, the finish they used on it, the varnish that they used, was just extremely slick, and that's why it didn't adhere. What this does is, like I said, it's paint glue. That's the easiest way to explain it. It's paint glue. And so what this is going to do is you put this up against, you paint it on your piece of furniture just like you would regular paint. And then what happens is that you allow that to dry, and that ProStick is going to adhere to your piece of furniture. So when you paint, now you've got something for your paint to adhere to instead of that factory finish. So it's not going to flake off. It's not going to peel off. It's not just going to dissolve like that. So real quick, Miss Lillians is on with me. Hello, Miss Lillians. Junkin Jones gang, Chastity's on with us. Hello, Chastity. She says she loves me some ProStick. Yes, ma'am, I love me some ProStick too. I recommend, if you use ProStick, I recommend using just a really good chip brush. One of your premium chip brushes, not one of the really nasty ones. As you can see, this one, it has the bristles are really nice and good. Not one of your chippy brushes. The reason that I say that is that this is paint glue. And so when you go to clean your brush, sometimes cleanup is a little bit difficult, especially if it's dried a little bit. And so if I need to, I don't want to mess up one of my, really, really good brushes. So I use a really good chip brush. This is a 2-inch chip brush I'm going to use to put on my ProStick. And then just in case something happens, I'm only out like $2. I'm not out, $40, $50, $60. So also, if the only thing you have is one of the regular chip brushes that kind of give you that chippy finish, once it's completely dried, you can always go over it with a very, very fine grit sandpaper and to get those little dips and stuff out if you're using a lesser, like a regular chip brush. So just ProStick does come 2 colors, gray and white. On this project, I'm using my white. So let's get at it. Sue says that she loves the surface it gives me for painting. It allows you to paint things that you normally wouldn't or couldn't paint, like PVC, glass, like the IKEA furniture is especially, this stuff is great for like the IKEA style furniture. Anything that is laminated, varnish, PVC, glass, mirror. Did I miss anything? So it gives you so many options on what you can paint having this in your arsenal. And so in this graining, not graining, but in this embellishments right here, this scroll work, I'm kind of dabbing it on because I want to make sure that I'm getting into all the little crevices. And then what I will do is I will go back and do a slight brush to get the little chips out. But I need to make sure that I'm getting down in there, into the corners, into the crevices. And that is a great way to get down in there, is you just stipple it instead of brush. And I'm using just a little bit at a time. I like using my thin coats. That's why I am going to be doing 2 coats, just because it's not, for me, the thinner you paint, the better finish you get. And I like doing 2 coats. That way, if there is an area where I miss, then I know that I am guaranteed to get full absolute coverage when I do 2 coats. And so that is why I do 2 coats. I would recommend after your second coat, like I said, 3 to 6 hours. I usually do my prep, like my ProStick, in the evening. That way I'm not tempted to go back and go, well, I can start painting it now. It's been 2 hours. No, by the time I finish ProSticking this, make dinner, switch laundry, feed the pups, feed the husband, switch laundry again, all that good stuff. It's time for bed. So I won't be tempted to go and start playing with this thing before it's ready. Now, in this temperature, it will give you, I will have a less working time. If I wanted to paint on it tonight, I absolutely could, with the temperature and the way the humidity is. But if you are painting inside with air conditioning, if you are painting in an area, say that you're like in Louisiana in the bayou and it's really humid there, you want to make sure that you're giving this product enough time to do what it was intended to do. A lot of people will say, well, I've used this product or whatever product it is, and they go, it didn't work for me. And you ask them, well, how much dry time did you give it? And they're like, oh, 30 minutes. You have to allow the product to do what it was designed to do. It's kind of like making a really, really great dinner. And then, you're supposed to throw it in the oven for an hour and you only put it in for 15 minutes. And then people wonder why it's doughy and why it's not done. You didn't cook it long enough. Same thing with this. You got to give it enough time to do the job that it was intended to do. So this is one very thin coat of ProStick on this drawer. Now, this has one small drawer up top. It's got 2 large, well, it's 1 drawer, but it looks like 2. This is actually 1 deep drawer. So give me just a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and move it. And I'll get to you guys' questions and comments here in just a moment. Haven't had a chance to look yet, so I'm going to move this off to the side. And of course, I set it right in my way. And then I will get to this one later. But I wanted to show you guys that is on here is one coat of the dried Pro Stick in white. And we're going to be doing a second coat. So Anne from Indiana is on. Hey, Anne. Hi. She said, hey, I finally found you. Carrie's watching. Hey, Carrie. She says, I have so missed you. Missed you too, girl. Give me a call after I get off the live. I miss you. Okay, so I am right-handed, so I'm going to go around because it's going to be easier for me, easier for you guys. Can y'all hear all of my birdies chirping? Isn't that amazing? Love it. Beautiful day in Texas. Get this turned around so I can see comments. And I want to keep the factory finish top because it is in the living room. It's going to get a lot of wear and tear. And so I am keeping the factory finish on the top. And then the rest of this is going to get a custom paint job. And I will be working on this piece on Thursday. Painting with Whiskey and Women. Yep, we're in the country. They're shooting off guns. Whee! Love it. So by doing this, I am making sure that all the little areas, even with this, I don't know if you can see, there's a couple little areas that you can see it's got a brush stroke. And it allowed not for full coverage. So by doing 2 coats, I am making sure that I am getting Pro Stick everywhere. So I'm not going to have anywhere on this piece that is not going to adhere. So if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments. Be happy to answer all your questions. So I know Carrie is actually about an hour or so south of me. How is your weather down there, Carrie? Because it is beautiful here in Berry, Texas today. Absolutely beautiful. They did say that we were going to get some rain. I think tonight is what they said, and tomorrow. So I've done a lot of prep today. Sanded. Let's just say I sanded a couple of pieces in preparation for the rain to come in. It's a beautiful day. Thought I'd get outside and do a lot of prep today. And tell me what you're working on. I'd love to know what you guys are working on. Just going back with some longer strokes, making sure that I'm getting in everywhere. Ooh, sorry, I actually put down a painting tarp again today. Aren't you guys proud of me? I am. So I got my foot wrapped up in the painting tarp when I tried to sit down on the little bench I have here. Speaking of benches, I did, got a bristle in my Pro Stick. So I want to get that out. Come on, get to the side. There we go. And then I will just go back over it. Not a problem. I did get the bench completed from last week. I put pictures up for you guys, but I will swing here in just a minute and show you guys where the bench is sitting. And it looks great sitting on the porch in its new Bohemian Queen suit. So there we go. That is a second coat. I got it a little thin right there. Not to worry. There we go. Making sure that I've got all the way up at the top. So as I swing you guys around, I'll show you right there. Did I go far? Yep, right. Yep, there it is. There's the bench sitting in its natural habitat. All right, let me get you guys moved back over, and I will move you guys over to the front. And we will get this ProStick. ProStick. That is exactly what we're doing. Kat says 7 inches of snow as of this morning and still snowing. Oh, girl. Like I said, it's 86 degrees here. Ann says working on my sweater, and picking up Sadie's stick. She has a box full. Nice day here. Glad that Ann's having. Kat, I hope that it's coming your way soon. You need some good weather, girl. And we are just getting, anytime I do prep like this, I do like to take the drawers out. To me, it makes it so much easier to prep than if you're just pulling the drawers out. Now, I have had a couple of pieces that were constructed that you couldn't take the drawers out. Oh, that was a bear. That was a nightmare. Didn't like it. 0 stars. Do not recommend. Oh, I just globbed it right there. It's okay. Got it. I know some people that are very comfortable with painting with drawers in. I am not that person. So if that's you, please don't take offense. It's a personal preference, and I like working with it, the drawers completely out. And this goes on just like paint. You do not have to worry. Like I said, it's just like paint. Get up in there, get the rest of this. You can see how quickly this is going. And I'm not really worried about a lot, you know, like I said, if I got brush strokes or anything like that, I am looking for total coverage as I'm moving around this piece. That's what I'm looking for, is complete coverage. And so, man, I got you guys at a wonky angle. Hey, camera guy, tech guy, why didn't you tell me my camera was at a wonky angle? He didn't answer me. Oh. I wonder if he's even paying attention in there. So there we go. 2 sides done. I'm going to move you guys over again so you can see the third side. I do not have this up on one of my Lazy Susans. So that is why I have to keep moving you guys around. Again, wonky angle. There we go. Yeah, there's the other piece I sanded today. So, busy girl. Kat says, send heat. Yes, girl. Need to send you some heat. Or I have to get you in touch with Anne so she can make you one of her amazing sweaters. I can't wait to get mine. Well, by the time I don't think it'll be a sweater. I swear words, trying to use them. I don't think it's going to be sweater weather again this year. But I will have it for next year, and it'll be glorious. So this piece is going in the middle of, we have a U-shaped sofa, and this piece is going to go in the middle in the U. And so I am painting all 4 sides. Because we will be seeing all 4 sides. And so when you're priming, you don't have to go in any really direction. Some people like to do their first coat up and down and their second coat side by side. It is completely 100% up to you and how you paint. No one is, the painting police is not going to come get you if you paint one way and not the other. I don't think the painting police goes for many people, actually. I think we're harder on ourselves than the industry, actually. I know for me, I am my worst critic. I am my hardest critic by far. So what about you? Are you your worst critic or is somebody else your worst critic? Tell me. Because I am by far harder on me. I look at stuff and go, that looks horrible. And other people are like, that looks great. That's awesome. And I'm like, I don't know. So definitely I am my worst critic. Actually, my husband's my worst critic. He's quick to tell me that he doesn't like something, which is fine. He says it with love. So let me get down to this bottom, and then you can see with the coverage with 2 coats how it is so much whiter. And then, of course, I did not leave myself room to get around the back of the table. So let me move my drawers out of the way. And the drawer that I just painted, I just moved it, and it is already dry to the touch, but I still wouldn't want to do a second coat on it yet. I know that it's warm and dry out here, but it's just not time. You have to give your products time to work. So, oh boy, here we go. First of all, I'm moving that ProStick because I've met me. And as soon as I move this table with an open ProStick on it, it's going to go flying off. And then I'm going to be crying for the rest of the video. So I'm not doing that to myself. I remembered to move the ProStick off the top. The table. And then I can move you guys there. I can get to the back, and then we will, other than the other drawer, we will be done for the day. So what do you guys have that you could see this ProStick on? A couple of real quick announcements. It is the last day of the month. This is not sure if they're going to extend the sale or not, but from what I understand, this is the last day to use Red Hot 20 to get 20% off of your products. So if you need to place an order, please do so. Today, use the code REDHOT20 when it asks for the coupon code at checkout on the website, and you will get 20% off your entire order. And that ain't bad, baby. That ain't bad at all. 20%. So, and then we are almost done for the day with this part. Prep is not glamorous. It's not something that people go, oh man, I wish I could prep more. No, but it is, the more you prep, the better you prep, the better your piece is going to come out, and the happier you will be with it for years to come. And so prep is so important. Don't let anyone tell you that prep, oh, you don't need to prep. You don't need to clean. You don't need to scuff sand, or you don't need to add a primer to anything. No, prep is as good as your prep is as good as your piece is going to turn out for years to come, for your durability. So please, please make sure that for your piece, like if you've got solid wood and you can just sand it down and you won't need a prep like this, but at least clean the piece and give it a little scuff sand. That's all you need to do on some pieces, and others you have to do full. Kat says that she's hard on herself too. I know, girl. I am very, very my own worst critic, but I'm also my best friend. Well, Sue's my best friend, but I'm a good friend to myself too. I spoil myself and I like me. So I'm good to me too. But isn't that the way it goes? He who loves you the most is also the one that expects the most and is always on you to do better. So again, we're almost done. And the gray, the reason that it comes in two colors, which I love that it comes in gray as well. If this was like an IKEA piece and it was white, you know, the white kind of IKEA furniture, if I wanted to paint it and I was using the white Pro Stick, I might lose myself in where I was adding my primer. So if I was doing like an IKEA piece, I would use the gray because I would know exactly where I primed because it's a different color. So I think that having the Pro Stick in white and gray is a wonderful, miraculous thing because it gives you so much choice and it allows you to easily figure out where you are in the process. And then we just got to get down here and we are done for the day. And I will see you guys back on Thursday over on my Litter to Glitter page. Sue and I will be on at noon Eastern. That is 11 Texas time for Painting with Whiskey and Women. And let's see, just get some of these. There you go. Just lightly feathering over to get some of those little brush strokes out. There we go. Go along. And like I said, I will go over it with a fine grit sandpaper to get anything out that I didn't want. So guys, that's it for me today. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you soon. Crysta from Litter to Glitter, Berry, Texas.